Weight title from the brilliant champion Dariusz Michalczewski. Every obstacle stands in his way. Prince has had to travel to deepest, darkest Germany and the eerie town of Oberhausen, seemingly rooted to the past. We've seen how he was locked in his room by the local guards, while local favourite Michalczewski was paraded in front of the crowds. Whenever Mark Prince has been spotted, it's been from evil eyes ready to turn his dream into a nightmare.
I feel very alone in more ways than one, but that's the mission I have to accomplish right now, and that's a part of the trial and tribulation I have to deal with.
The Polish-born champion has found his home in Germany. His star performance came in this Rhineland arena, where he beat Virgil Hill. The German media see one winner, all bets are off. Everyone feels the Tiger's world-class skills will be too much for our challenger, who's been in trouble at domestic level.
What do you think of Mark Prince?
I think it's a good man, it's a strong man, it's a good punch. I am with him.
Prince does indeed have strength, both in his hands and from his devout faith. He says God will make him champion.
Whatever I need to do, I will do on the night to produce the victory.
Why are you so confident about this one?
Strictly because God has seen me through 18 victories, and he's not going to leave me on the 19th one.
Both fighters look totally relaxed at last night's weigh-in. Both are unbeaten. Something has to give. Will it be another majestic Michalczewski defence, or can Mark Prince rewrite the record books tonight?
This is a serious thing I'm doing here. This is an amazing thing I'm doing, coming over to Germany, taking away Dariusz's belt and coming back to London.
In what promises to be a tough fight, Mark Prince's best chance must lie in his explosive power. He can hit with both hands and will be looking for an opportunity to land the knockout punch. Prince has a clear reach advantage, and his long jab could cause his opponent problems. Michalczewski employs a peekaboo-style defence where the hands are held up high, protecting the head. But his style does leave him open to body punches, and Prince may be able to wear him down. Prince must also use his speed right from the start and stop Michalczewski getting into his rhythm. Michalczewski is a very quick starter. In his fight with Nicky Piper, he had Nicky down twice in the opening round. He's all about power and pressure, wearing down his opponent with relentless aggression and fast, accurate punches. And if he's allowed to set himself, he has an excellent overhand right. Mark's defence can be leaky, and he's been badly shaken in the past. Will he be able to take the champion's power? Michalczewski's own chin is pretty solid. He takes Piper's punches without feeling the effects. Mark's best chance could come during exchanges where the champion has been caught before. Prince always has a puncher's chance, but I think Michalczewski will be too strong and cunning and take him out in the late stages.
So I really believe he's going to do it. He's in the other guy's backyard. I don't know how many people are in there, but every one of them is going to be for Michalczewski. And that changes a fighter after 2 or 3 rounds. And like, he's put a lot of faith in God. If he loses this, where's his faith going to go? He's got to do it himself.
Do you hope you're wrong?
I hope I'm wrong.
Fair enough. Let's join our commentary team once more then in Oberhausen tonight. Jim Watt and first, Reg Guttridge.
So hello then, and welcome to a ringside seat with Jim Watt and I in this crowded stadium. There's something like 14,000 people here, and I'll tell you what, 13,999 of them are on their man's side. But he's done now the long walk in there, the tension. He's locked himself in the dressing room and really prayed to the Lord, as he said all along, and as he is doing there, Mark Prince. And when it comes to confidence, I'm surprised actually how confident he is, because he's really been up against it. Remember, it's his first challenge for a world title. He's only completed 12 rounds once in his career. He only had 1 season as an amateur in the seniors. You know, it's a fight that's come out of nowhere for him, and the Sports Network team are over here, including Frank Warren, who's got behind him and said, well, you know, the lad's 29, he can't go on that much longer without getting a shot of a championship, and this is the ideal opportunity. Away from home is not going to help, but when the bell goes, it then becomes the loneliest spot in the ring, doesn't it? And we'll find out. That was the referee, the American Rudy Battle, that you saw in shot there from New Jersey. Now, I think we're going to get some spectacular entrance, obviously, from Michalczewski. And he's nicknamed the Tiger. And this is Germany's version, then, of Let's Get Ready to Rumble. The Tiger. Well, oh, dear, there it is. There we go with the Hollywood trimmings now. Oh, dear. The latest gimmick coming up. He doesn't look too pleased about it all. Things they're dreaming up, these promoters, honestly, it ceases to surprise me. All we need now is a flashback to the old Mills brothers singing Hold That Tiger for the next 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Mark Prince is stuck in the ring having to listen to this. It won't do his nerves much good, I shouldn't look. It's a trying time for any fighter, especially one, you know, fighting abroad against a man who's actually idolised here, although he's originally from Poland. Well, he fought the American Virgil Hill in this arena, and he's made a crossover from sort of champion to personality, in the same way, really, as Oscar De La Hoya has done. Good, solid workman. I don't think Tiger's a good nickname for him. That's not his style. Won 37 undefeated, 28 stopped or KO'd, and 14 world fights he's been in. He's fought 4 world champions, and he's been 12 rounds, 17 times, and he's only a year older than Mark Prince. Well, that's the trimmings over with, Jim.
Yeah, well, this, as we know, is a tough night for Mark Prince, but he has the comfort of knowing nobody really gives him a great chance, so nothing's expected, everything's a bonus, so hopefully he can have a shoot or bust night, give it all he's got, but he really has to get off to a good start.
Den Herausforderer, den Weltmeister. Die Nationalhymnen der USA, Großbritannien.
So we've got 3 anthems being played here, 1 for the referee and 1 each for the contestants. There it is. He uses the English seconds out there. So here we go. All the talking's done now. Let's get down to battle. And there's Rudy in the middle. Well-named referee, that, isn't he? He's hoping it's going to go a lot quicker than Herbie Hyde and the unfortunate American Damon Reed. It's just it's supposed to be the quickest in history, I think, when that happened. Surely that couldn't happen again here, though. Popular lad for a Polish boy that comes from what used to be called Danzig, Gdansk now. A few scuffles there back, wasn't there, at one time? Created the First World War. So there you go. Now we've got to, without prejudice, hope that Mark Prince can sort of throw a few bombs at the start there and at least more than put up a show, but try and establish a little bit of authority as quickly as he can. So Mika. He fights in America. I think he cut his name down to something like Danny Michaels or something. If he wants to get plenty of ink there, it's a bit of a name he's got there. All right in Scrabble, but not in the fight game.
Well, Michalczewski obviously knows about Prince, that he's a fair puncher, so straight away he's trying to put him on his back foot, take away some of that power. And he's already boxing behind a solid-looking left jab.
You get rid of a bit of the tension now, Jim. That's what you fellas do, isn't it? When the first bell goes like that, and you start unleashing a few punches.
Yeah, well, this is the time. I mean, it's the waiting, obviously, especially when you're boxing away from home. Time drags. At least now you can get on with the job and do something, so the nerves have left him now. Having said that, his temperament's been very good, very upbeat, very confident.
Not bad punches either. He's unloading them early, which is good. I think he's got to take some chances with this fellow because he can box, and he's got to just throw a few, leather and take here and there by tucking the chin in or doing the best he can with defence, but no use covering up. He's got to unload.
I think the best plan for any fighter is to box your natural, your normal fight in the first couple of rounds, see how that's going to fare. Then if it's not working, then do something else. But don't go in with plans of doing something you've never done before. So Prince, although he's backing off, he's not getting forward, he's boxing his normal fight. This is all right. Just been picked off a little bit now.
He had a good spell as you started to talk there during the uppercut, didn't he?
See, Michalczewski's just walking right in on top of them with that jab. He's either got to block it or move away from it. He's been caught with some solid jabs at the moment. Well, signs are, Reg, it's going to be a good battle as long as it lasts. Yeah, both guys want to get on with the business.
Yeah, they want to try and outthink each other as well as outpunch each other by the look of it. They're good styles. I'm quite impressed with Prince's opening here. Not saying he's winning the round, but he's certainly, well, at the moment he's holding his own.
Yep, this is a good enough start. This is as good as I'd hoped. Not much in this round so far, Reg. Maybe just a little bit more quality from Michalczewski's punches, but punches landed, not a great deal in it. Yep.
So just a quick look then of the slow-mo here, Jim.
Yeah, well, good punches landed by both men. It looks like it's going to be a good fight already, Reg. It's not a clash of styles. That was a good opening round. Probably the quality of Michalczewski's punches just shading it for him.
Yeah, no argument with that. It was a good quality round, though. I was impressed with that. Second round, then. And, of course, scheduled for 12 WBO light heavyweights. Only about a pound between them, working out the kilos, actually. Michalczewski came right in on the button. We were at the weigh-in, Jim Watt and I, a sort of pub along the promenade in this town. And Prince was about a pound inside the 12 stone 7. That's 175 pounds. 79.5 kilo.
Well, Michalczewski's plan is fairly obvious. He doesn't want Prince to be coming forward. He's got the chin down, the hands up, and just marching forward, backing him up, trying to take some of the power away. But Prince boxing well.
Come a long way with Mark Prince, really, from Tottenham, really. Boxed in the old New Enterprise Club there. London Championships in '92. He's done well to get this crack, and it looks as though he's going to make the most of it too.
Michalczewski's punches just carry that bit more authority, Reg. That's the only difference at the moment. Prince likes to get his body weight forward. These are just kind of arm punches we're seeing from Prince at the moment. But Michalczewski,
I caught him at the top of his head then.
It was Michalczewski's own fault there.
He ran onto it.
Yep, wasn't a butt. But the champion's got a real solid look about his work.
Oh, he knows how to bide his time, Jim. He knows how to pace a fight. 150 amateur championships at the contest, I mean, European juniors and seniors he won.
I'm a great believer, Reg, that the jab is the best punch in the book in a long title fight, and Michalczewski uses it as a jab should be used. It's not just a little range finder. He really thuds them home.
Well, it's not the slightest sign at the moment that Prince has been overawed by this fellow at all, and I must say I'm pleased about that. I had certain doubts, despite his confidence. You think, it's hard going when that bell goes, and such an experienced opponent.
My only little bit of alarm is they're both landing good shots, and punches landed, there's not a lot of difference, but the quality of Michalczewski's punches, Prince can't continue to take these jabs. His own punches are being partially blocked. But the jab that's coming his way is solid.
Head's just a slightly a bit static really, Jim. I thought that's better. As he must have heard me. Started to roll a little bit with them there, make it more difficult for Michalczewski. So there's the champion's corner there. They're always looking at, well, understandably very confident. You can't knock an unbeaten record. It's a good division at the moment. Roy Jones, Reggie Johnson holding other versions of it. This fella's won WBA and IBF and vacated them, along with the European. And he won the WBO Cruiserweight Championship and vacated it. So we're into the third. And some good quality boxing going on and correct hitting. And there's been what's said probably the stronger power there coming in from Michalczewski.
It's better from Prince. You just want, if he can get his body moving forward as he's punching, he's going to be backed off. You know, as Michalczewski comes forward, but when the time comes to punch, try to come forward with the punches.
I'm glad he's moving his shoulders and head around a little bit like that. It's not such an easy target. And his short punches are quite impressive.
Good work at the moment from Prince.
He listened to the corner there. Carly Carew was saying jab and then hook with the right hand, and he tried it. And keep the jab going.
Yep, there's an improvement in Prince's work at this round. Reggie's getting him off a little bit quicker. He's not reacting to what Michalczewski's doing. Although he's been backed up a little bit, he's getting his punches off quicker.
None of this success, whatever it is, by Prince at the moment, is through courtesy of Michalczewski. He doesn't let this happen if he can help it.
It's just that solid look that the champion's got. You just, even when Prince is doing well, Reg's landing good punches, holding his own, that real solid, complete look that Michalczewski's got worries you. But this is a good round for Prince.
Good round for Prince, this. I agree.
Oh, that was a good shot.
He's trying to return the compliment too there, Prince, look.
Michalczewski doesn't throw any meaningless punches. Every punch he throws, Reg, has full intent.
Oh, this is good stuff now. You get a bit excited here, Jim, I think. The man's doing well from Tottenham. There's no question that no line about tottering Hotspur here.
Good round for Prince, but he still has been under pressure, Reg, and that's the big problem. Everything he's done here, he's been forced to do it. Michalczewski's still in the driving seat.
This is where it's paid off for Prince, really. That he's been training in Los Angeles in Freddie Roach's gym there. You're getting good sparring. So there it is in replay again. He had a good round there, Mark Prince. Certainly Jim White and I would have scored it that way. Reminder, the Puerto Rican, German, Holland judges, if we do need a decision.
Seconds out.
Okay, seconds out. Let's go, seconds.
So we're coming up for the fourth then of this WBO version of the Light Heavyweight Championship. And the underdog snapping away like a good one there, Mark Prince. He refuses to alter his pattern at all, doesn't he, the champion there, Jim? Stands right in front of him.
Yeah, but Prince has coped with it well. He's coped with it well. It's just the fact that he's the one under pressure. He's been forced to work. He's been forced to get the punches out. I think Michalczewski has got the kind of fight he wanted it to be. He's controlling the type of fight we're getting here, and he'll be quite happy. But Prince still pumping the punches out.
Yeah, he's got a good flow of shots coming in there. In fact, you can feel that this crowd now waiting for Michalczewski just to land one punch that looks good from the back of the arena to excite them a bit.
See, Prince just needs a little bit more power into these shots. He's been backed up, but it's no good just throwing arm punches. He has to snap that jab in Michalczewski's face. See, Michalczewski's coming right through Prince's punches, and that's the bad sign.
Well, I suppose you can then say, well, one of these days it might just catch up with him, but will it be tonight?
But Prince, to make it catch up, Prince has to get more power into the shots. It's no good just prodding arm shots. He's got to get the power in. He has that power, but he's got to get his body weight forward with these punches.
Well, the crowd, I tell you what, even the German crowd cheered the underdog there for that one. This is good stuff. He's fighting with a style, you know, an accomplished American fighter, Mark Prince. There's a long way to sort of stand up 3 rounders with the new enterprise arm of the club.
That jab really is a good professional jab. Michalczewski has it. As I say, not a rangefinder. That is a hurtful jab. But Prince, the volume, again, coming from Prince, he's pumping them out. The quality punching certainly coming from the champion, but volume-wise, Prince is keeping himself right in this.
Can he just pull out that little touch of power now and again here to stop Michalczewski in his tracks a bit?
See, there's always been a solid look of strength about the champion's work. Even when he's not doing so well, he's not being successful, he has that solid look. And that, for me, is the big worry for Mark Prince. But volume-wise, Reg, this has been another good round for Prince. The quality has been Michalczewski, but probably the volume just leans it in Prince's favour.
Well, I'll tell you, this crowd's getting quite excited about this fight now, because it's a bit level at times. You know, I know you can say, well, yeah, but maybe Michalczewski, wearing the other guy down like a virus. He does that in most fights. But, when you think he's had 13 defences of various versions of the championship, have a look at that close-up now. He's taken it, practically ignored it, and come back there, Prince, into round 5.
Well, Reg, any questions about whether or not Prince deserved the world title crack? They've been dispelled now. He's trying to get the right hand going.
I must say, I had a lot of self-doubts. I admit that coming in. I thought, well, what's he done to prove he could really do this? Unbeaten, but nowhere near this opposition, really. Well, Jim's got it level on the unofficial card at the moment.
I think the problem, I have to say, the quality punching is certainly coming from Michalczewski, but I've given a couple of rounds to Prince just because of the volume.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the power in the shot. It's over the 12 rounds. That's what's worrying me as far as Prince is concerned. But he's pumping the punches out and keeping himself in it here. See, these are just arm punches we're seeing from Prince now.
Yeah, sort of stuff that you do in the gymnasium, Jim, when you're working out, really, isn't it? He's not leaning in with them. He did there. Wondering if one of these days Michalczewski will run out a bit of steam, Jim. You know, he catches up with you in this fight game when you've been in a lot of distance fights like that.
Well, I'm a great believer, Reg, that in a tough battle, the one setting the pace handles the pace better, and it's certainly Michalczewski who's handling, who's forcing things here. And that jab, I see a little bit of blood on Prince's right eye, above the eye. So that's the first blood to the champion.
I don't think the corner have spotted it either, Jim. We're sitting near Mark Prince's corner. I don't think they've seen it yet.
I think they'll see it now. They're just beginning to come down.
Coagulates. Oh, yes, it's there. Oh, dear, that's a pity. That just might handicap him a bit too much. Not necessarily, but I hope not. I hope it's not a bad one, or develop to be a bad one. Yeah, only Foss is going to be the cut man there, and he'll be up there like jumping out of an ejector seat when that bell goes to work on that cut of Prince.
Well, full credit to Prince, Reg. He is really giving this a go. That jab is still the biggest problem for him at the moment, but he's pumping out the punch. He's really giving the champion some problems. But that solid look never leaves Michalczewski.
No, he won't give Prince any room, will he? It's almost treading on his toes, Jim.
He's doing exactly the right thing, Reg. He's dictating the pace. He's forcing Prince to work. Forcing the pace, making him fight when he doesn't want to fight. And Prince, usually, you'd expect to be the one. If anybody runs out of steam, you expect it to be Prince, because he's forced all the way.
Well, how do you like that, Prince's time? You thought you could look there early on. It's Carly Peru there, the man that worked with Adrian Dodson for so long, and in fact Dodson fought under the line of Peru at one point. So this is now where Ernie Fossey's got to only keep in the corner. There it is. It's just above the
Now let me tell you something, yeah?
Professional view.
Well, it's a fairly long
do what I tell you.
Yeah.
You're going back into trying to manage
just another little glance at it.
this round to take a round out and fight specifically under what is available. Don't throw combination and the man is sketchy. Look for the shot. What is available, you hit.
In the corner there. Really
right, the rest you're burning up energy unnecessary. Now let's deal with this.
Arms of the second. Let them go.
Right?
It's not a deep
listen to what I'm
thankfully, but it's long.
saying.
It's not deep at the moment, so Ernie Fossey, you'd expect, should handle this unless it worsens, obviously. But at this moment, it's not a bad cut.
Sometimes those stragglers get stuck in there and it doesn't worsen. I can think of many a contest where that's happened. But they drenched Michalczewski in water.
But there was no dark red look about the cut, suggesting it was a deep cut, so I don't think it's a serious one.
6th round, reminder, of the WBO Light Heavyweight Championship. And the heavy underdog, Mark Prince from London, they're really giving this local hero, the Pole who lives in Hamburg but does a lot of his fighting in this town of Oberhausen. So he's got massive support. And hopefully you'll see the entrance to with a live tiger to get into a boost.
Well, that's almost a minute gone this round, Reg, and Michalczewski hasn't landed a decent punch yet. He's still boring forward, but Prince is the one getting the punches off.
That left-hand jab has been saying all along to him, and then he makes that count. He took his time getting into it in this round.
It's the quality of the punches. That's the difference between the two. I mean, okay, volume is, for me, has kept Prince in the fight, but if the judges are going for quality, you have to lean to the champion. These are hurtful, solid shots.
Yeah, he's a pretty good short arm puncher too, Michalczewski. They all carry weight. I still like the way the grit he's showing here, Mark Prince. He's really giving it a go. The old fashioned 1-2, the left and right hand cross then coming from Michalczewski.
Well, Reggie, we're asking for a career best performance from him before the fight, and that's what he's giving. I mean, you couldn't ask any more of Mark Prince. He just can't handle that jab. It's the jab from Michalczewski that he just getting through too often with it.
Oh, he's almost drawing Michalczewski on there with those flicking left-hand leads, Prince. That stopped him in his tracks there, doing that punch. I don't think he can work off the ropes. He's better off in the centre of the ring, Prince.
I mean, there's never a lot in volume of punches in any of the rounds, Reg. Prince really doing far better than I expected.
Oh, yeah, he's switched from head to body pretty good, too. Shoot him back there,
good little right hand from the champion.
Yeah.
Sees arm punches again from Prince.
Got the impression, Jim, I don't know at this stage, it was just showing you a little bit of weariness in the corner. What do you think? He took a long time to sit down there, didn't he?
No, Reg, he's been under pressure for 6 rounds now. That's the halfway stage. He's well in the fight, but you can see, look at the solid look about the champion. Everything he does has that business-like solid look about it. Prince really doing wonderfully well, but he's always having to react to what the champion does. So as I said earlier, the one setting the pace usually copes with the pace better. Prince must be feeling it by now.
Here it is, 58-56 then, for the championship's unofficial. At ringside, right on the apron.
And I'll be honest, Reg, I can't see the judges being any kinder to Prince than I've been. I mean, 2 points in it on my card, but the champion has looked the business going forward all the time. So really, Prince has to get some power into his shots, try to drive this fellow back, but I don't know if that's possible.
He absorbs a good punch to Michalczewski. The only time he's in trouble is when there was a misunderstanding with American referee Joe O'Neill with...
Well, that jab just shook him to his boots, Reg. That's a wonderful left jab the champion has.
He wears people down with business. Sheer little wars of attrition with his boxing ability.
But look at the way Prince has responded, Reg. I mean, that was a real sickening jab he took, but he blasts back two-fisted.
He really wants to put some more bread on the table, Mark Prince, and this is, you know, the way that these lads can really get what they love, respect anyway, but the money to go with it when they're in World Championship class. And full points then to Prince. You know, good luck to him. He's doing well. Hard, good champion.
Prince's best shots have not troubled Michalczewski in the slightest, Reg. That is the big difference between these two guys. When Michalczewski lands solid, Prince has to take a gulp of air and regroup himself, but he has not made an impression on the champion.
But he takes the shots and fights back. The eye's bleeding a bit again here.
That jab, Prince just has not found an answer to it.
As you remember, Jim, he did a really hard wearing down job on Nicky Piper. Now given up punditry for TV presenting in his home country.
For me, Reg, this is where title fights are decided. It's not the last couple of rounds, because by that time you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the middle rounds when you're feeling tired, 6 rounds behind, you still 6 rounds to go. You start having doubts about your condition. This is where title fights turn one way or the other. At the moment, the champion is still in command. He's picked off now, Reg.
Yeah, he's really setting to the task in a big way. He's always been, you know, the halfway line man. He wants to really definitely overtake Prince now. I suppose there's one member I've studied in the audience, so Rob Schumacher will understand that, the overtaking.
But look again, Prince responding like a true world-class fighter. Really, you've got to take your hat off, Reg. This is a wonderful challenge from Prince.
Whatever happens, he's going to go out carrying his shield here, I'll tell you that, Prince.
This is a tough round. This is the toughest round of the fight for Mark Prince.
Well, back to the studio. Let's see how Darren McGuigan's seeing this fight.
Yeah, Reg, it's just sort of what we planned or what we thought might happen. The fight's unfolding that way. Michalczewski's putting intense pressure on Prince and just making him, forced him to fight the way he wants him to fight. And what has happened is he's really shot his bolt now. He's tired, he's exhausted, and Michalczewski's just starting to open up. And look at these punches. He's punching right through the target area. That's you know, an indication of a real banger. He stands right up on top of you and he punches to a foot the other side of your head, and he's really beginning to grind Prince down. I don't think it's going to last an awful lot longer, maybe another 2-3 rounds.
Well, there you are, straight from two horses' mouths there in the And yes, I did suggest that there was a little bit of blowing going on when he came back to the corner, a little bit of tiredness. I suspected with Prince, he might argue and say no, I wasn't, but I think it showed out a little bit, and he had a very dominating round there, Michalczewski.
Reg, there hasn't been time for a deep breath since the first bell sound. This has been a tremendous pace, and as I've said it earlier, Prince is the one under the pressure. He doesn't have the power, he's never made an impression on the champion, so nothing to give him extra confidence just when he needs it now that he's blowing a little bit. he needs something. He needs something to boost his confidence, and a good round would certainly do that. He has tried to come forward. This is what we need. A little bit more tidy, more compact, but he's got to get his body weight forward.
His last fight was a 12-rounder, Mark Prince, of course, different class opposition, an American called Ken Wack, who apparently couldn't, which is why it went 12 rounds last May.
Well, Reg, Prince has been on the floor, and we wondered about the strength of his chin, but I tell you what, he's taken some tremendous shots here tonight. Never flinched, never looked like going down so far. Yeah, he's just really, as Barry said, really feeling the pace now.
Yeah, as you say, must get to him, Jim, knowing there's still a long way to go.
He badly needs something to give him confidence at this stage. The fight's beginning to slip away from him. He's never hurt the guy, never discouraged him. He doesn't quite know what to do. He won't give up. It's not in his heart to give up. But things are not looking bright for him. Really, he needs a big shot to land, or a good round, but can he manage either?
Crowd are rising with this because they're really getting their money's worth here.
Still, Michalczewski never loses that solid look, that business-like, real, just let's go on with it.
Yeah, he's tasted life now a lot at world level. He knows exactly how to compete with it all the time.
Legs beginning to look a little bit tired as well. If Prince goes over Reg, it's more liable to be from exhaustion than the power of the punch, because he's taken Michalczewski's best.
It looks as though his body might be hit by a little bit of body fatigue now, doesn't it?
And that attack, we've just seen him when he was coming forward. He looks so weary. The punches, there's a weary look about Prince's punches now. And his defences have dropped as well, which is dangerous. Another sign of tiredness, the hands are dropping down.
Still throwing punches. You know, Jimmy, this is one game guy, isn't it? He's had, I'm so pleased for him because he's had, you know, oh dear. That caught him on the back of the head there, Jim, didn't it? In the 8th round, oh, the left hook. No, he won't get up from that. When they go head first like that, he knows it. To talk to the referee and his own corner rushed over the formality of the count. It was just showing that he was ready to go, and he finished it like true champion, Michalczewski. You can't argue with that.
They'll keep him on the floor, Reg, as a precaution, but for his friends and family back home not to be alarmed, this is a precaution. They always keep a fighter on the floor, make sure he's all right before they bring him back up again. I'm sure Mark is all right. But that finishing punch really was a cruncher. Typical fighter, he wants to get back on his feet again, but they'll just take their time with him. But
I just wish there's a good sporting crowd. I just wish this fellow would at least have the...
Well, he went over, Reg.
Oh, he went over.
He went over to make sure Prince was all right. He saw Prince was back up again. He saw he wasn't unconscious.
Good.
But, Reg, we're looking at a first-class world champion here. This guy is the genuine article. I mean, we keep talking about seeing Roy Jones in a meaningful match. Nothing wrong with Michalczewski and Roy Jones.
Oh, I'd like to see that one. Well, the main thing is that Mark Prince is okay. Our view's being distorted, actually, as you can imagine. The usual carnival in the ring that we could do without. And, well, I don't blame him for milking every second out of it, Michalczewski. 2:57 of the 8th round we make that, Jim.
Yeah, well, he took a knockout shot, and then he almost went over, glared back at the champion as though to say, that didn't hurt me. But unfortunately, the punch that followed really just finished the job. Just caught him on the side, but on the side of the jaw, over he went. And by that time, really, exhaustion as much as anything, Riggs. The guy must have been totally exhausted by then. He'd given it every ounce that he had.
Dariusz Michalczewski.
5 rounds, 5 to 2.
5 to 2. Your scorecard is the judge next to me, I've leaned over and politely asked him. He had it 5 rounds to 2, Jim.
Well, that's exactly what I had, Reg. Yeah, the first 2 to Michalczewski and the last 3 to Michalczewski, so I had it 5 to 2 as well.
Well, it doesn't matter at that stage. It's irrelevant now what it was, the actual scoring. He was ahead anyway, Michalczewski, whichever way you looked at it. So let's have a look at this replay then.
Well, he took a big shot, Reg, and stumbled as though he was going over. But then he glared back at the champion as though, I'm not hurt, no, let's carry on. But that's what happened when he did carry on. The left hook, exhaustion, everything. See, this is when he glared back. I'm not hurt. He was almost on the floor, the punch before that. But unfortunately, punch resistance gone simply because he was so tired. Yeah. And over he went.
And the left-hand swing come hook did it. Great show by Mark Prince, but up against one of the great ones.
Thanks to Jim and to Reg in Germany, Dariusz Michalczewski again proving that he is one of the outstanding champions in world boxing right now. That extended
more, and I think it done excellent for me, experience-wise. But it showed me that he had that little bit more experience that I just needed to be able to get the knockout that I was looking for.
Did you find it hard that he was sort of pushing you around the ring and putting you on the back foot?
He was putting me on the back foot, and I think at times I was allowing him to push me back, and I was just going with the flow. And every time I was trying to come back with punches and show him that even though he connected, he hadn't got the better of me, and I was still right in there. And I think that I showed him that I was, and he was finding it difficult to keep me under wraps.
Well, that's it. You had a couple of very good rounds, round 3 and 4, when you were getting your shots off.
Yeah, very good, man. I was enjoying it, and I thought I still believed all the time that I was going to come back in the fight and get my knockout, man, later on in the rounds.
You're just looking for that one shot?
I was looking for the combinations, I was looking for the shot, I was looking for anything, I was looking to stay busy just in case it went the full rounds. I was just looking to win the fight.